Work is at its best and most beautiful when it brings you closer to Allah, earns you respect among people, and gives you success in this world. But imagine this, someone who is famous in society for being kind, loved, respected, trusted, and admired. A person everyone believes is a helper of community, for a role model, someone who solves people's problem. Then suddenly the truth appears, and we found out that the same person is disaster, the exact opposite of what everyone thought. He is not a problem solver, he is the creator of problems. He is not helper, he is destroyer. He turns out to be magician, a sorcerer. My friends, today's story is exactly that kind of shocking, unbelievable incident. So, welcome to my channel Nasri, and let's begin. The year was 2006 and the story starts in Saudi Arabia. There was a young man named Saud, a Saudi boy with normal life and good friends. One day, Saud traveled with a group of his friends to Egypt, planning to stay only for 1 week, just to rest, enjoy, and return home. But what he saw in Egypt changed his life forever. One afternoon, Saud got bored at home, so he went out with two of his friends to a small cafe, just to drink something, relax, and talk. As he was sitting on his chair, chatting and laughing with his friends, his eyes suddenly stopped on something. A girl, a very beautiful Egyptian girl sitting on the other table with her friends. He kept talking with his friends, but his eyes kept returning on her again and again. Inside, he was whispering to himself, "She is so beautiful, but you don't have the courage to go speak to her." She was sitting with other girls, and he didn't want to embarrass himself. And suddenly, when he looked again, he realized the girl was also looking at him. Was it a coincidence? Or did she like him too? He wasn't sure. The evening passed. They left the cafe. Nothing happened. The next day, at the same time, Saudi returned to that cafe. Part of him hoped she would come. Part of him told him he was just dreaming. But destiny was playing its game. There she was sitting in the exact same seat. They stared at each other again. He wanted to approach her, but fear held him back. If she rejects me? What if she embraces me in front of everyone? Again, he left the cafe without speaking to her. On the third day, Saudi returned to the cafe once more, this time with his close friend, the one he had told everything. He sat for a while, and just when he was about to leave, she walked in. His friend whispered quickly, "That's the girl you told me about, right?" Saud nodded nervously. His friend pushed him. "Go talk to her. She keeps looking at you." I thought myself. And finally, Saud stood up. He walked to her table and sat on the chair across from her. He greeted her, and she answered politely. They began talking. She didn't reject him. She didn't ignore him. She smiled. They talked for a while, and then Saud said softly, "I have been noticing you here for days, and I really like you. What do you think about that?" The girl replied with a warm smile, "I like you too. A handsome young man, welcome." She was in her early 20s, the same age as Saud. At this moment, this simple meeting was the beginning of a story darker than Saud could ever imagine. That day, They introduced themselves to each other properly. She told him her name, Amina. She spoke about her life, her family, and her background. They exchanged phone numbers. From that moment, they were in constant contact, calling, messaging, talking day and night. But time does not stop for love. The week ended, and Suutri was over. His friends packed their bags and said, "We are going back to Saudi Arabia. It's time." But Saud looked at them with heart full of love and replied, "You all go ahead. I will follow later." His friends laughed and said, "Our brother has fallen in love." And they left Egypt without him. Saud stayed longer, only because of Amina. The connection between them grew stronger every day. He fell for her completely, not only for her beauty, but for her character, her kindness, her loving nature. It was the first girl he had ever loved deeply. He was sure she was the one. One day, Suud called Amina and said, "I want to meet you, just the two of us." She agreed. They met in a quiet cafe, sitting across from each other. After they talking for a while, Suud took a deep breath and said, "My love, I have something important to tell to you. I don't want us to continue like this just talking. I want something more. I want you to be my wife. I want us to get married." Amina froze. Her smile slowly faded. Her eyes lowered. He waited for her answer. Instead of saying yes or no, tears slowly fell from her eyes. Saud panicked. "Amina, did I say you something wrong? Did I offend you? Tell me what's happening." She wiped her tears and spoke quietly. "You told me something that made me very happy, and I'm grateful. I'm glad you see me as someone good enough to be your wife. But there was a small problem." She took a deep breath. She said, "Before you meet me, I was already married once, and later I got divorced. So I don't think a man like you would want to marry a man who had already been married before." Suud stared at her with shock and sadness, not because she had been divorced, but because she believed it made her unworthy. He gently touched her hand and said, "Is that why you cried? You think I will reject you for this? A woman like you with value, beauty, and respect. The foolish man left you, and he's the unlucky one, not you. If I love you through everything. Even if you have children, I still want you." Amina looked at him with disbelief. "Are you serious?" she whispered. Even after these words, he could see she was still not at peace. Her eyes were still filled with sadness and fear. Suud asked her softly, "Amina, there is something else, isn't there? You're still hiding something. Tell me what it is. I'll accept you unless you don't want me. If you don't love me, just say it. But don't lie. Tell me the truth." The moment of truth was near, and what she was about to reveal took the story into the darkness. Amina looked at Saud, her eyes full of hesitation. She whispered, "My love, it's not exactly as you think. I need to tell you the truth about the problem that caused my divorce. I didn't tell you before, but I have to now. Please listen." Suud leaned closer. She continued voice trembling. "The reason my first marriage ended, I am infertile. I visited many doctors. I tried everything, but nothing worked. My first husband divorced me because of this. That's why I'm telling you the truth." Ruth fell silent. His mind raced. This was a heavy truth. A woman he loved, but a future with his children seemed impossible. Yet when he looked into her small, fragile eyes, his heart softened immediately. Without hesitation, he said firmly, "My love, just as Allah created you, I accept you. I want you. I choose you. I'm a man who worked and has some wealth. Allah wills, we can visit doctors together, and if Allah does not bless us children, we will still be together. I love you just as you are." Amina's eyes filled with tears, this time tears of joy. She whispered, almost unable to speak, "Are you serious? You really accept me as I am?" Sud smiled warmly and replied, "Yes, my love, I'm ready to take you. With your personality, your past, everything about you. I thank Allah for bringing you to me." Finally, Saud asked Amina's family for her hand. With respect and honor, he approached her parents. They agreed. The marriage was celebrated. They spent 2 months together in Egypt, enjoying their time and getting to know each other even more. But Saud's work was in Saudi Arabia, where he had his home and business. He said to Amina, "I want you to live with me there. Are you ready?" She replied confidently, "Yes, I am ready. We will live together wherever you decide." And so, Saud and Amina moved to North Saudi Arabia, his hometown. He set up his business there and she joined him. Saud was a young man with wealth, work, and kind heart. Amina found love, comfort, and a life without the struggle and sadness she faced in Egypt. For the first time, Amina had peace, health, love, and security. Everything she needed except one thing. The only thing missing was children. No matter how perfect life seemed, without a child, Amina still felt incomplete. She visited many doctors, but nothing could be done. Desperate, she turned to traditional medicine. Her husband supported her, he did not object. Gradually, Amina became lost in superstitions and old matches. She began reading strange stories, believing things that were never real. Eventually, she told Saudi something shocking. "My husband, I'm pregnant. I will give birth to son." Saud froze. He was silent, trying to understand if this was true or just another story from her superstitions. Amina insisted, her eyes full of hope. "I'm serious. I was shown by a wise and blessed person. Allah has blessed me and I will have a child." Saud took deep breath. He realized that Allah had truly granted them this miracle. When Amina finally gave birth to a healthy baby boy, Saud was completely satisfied. His heart was full of joy. He knew that despite all struggles, hardship, and fears, Allah had blessed them in the end. Our minister did not end with happiness and child. Her life took a surprise turn twisty that no one could have imagined. After she gave birth, she began to discover special gifts with herself. Saud proudly told everyone in the village, "My wife, she's blessed. She has gifts for insight. Look at her, she can help people." He explained her past honestly, that she had been divorced because she was infertile, but now she had been blessed. The villagers slowly began to believe Amina's words. People started coming to her for help. Amina's gift became well known. Women who could not have children come to her. People with illnesses with whom doctor could not help come and seeking her aid. Those with problems or misfortune sought her advice. She did not deceive anyone. She used water, prayers, and simple remedies. Yet gradually her reputation grew, and her little home became a place of hope and healing. Everyone admired her. Her family became broad, and her husband Saud supported her fully. Amina knew the truth. She was using a skill that many misunderstood. People believed she had magical powers. She never called herself a sorcerer. She said calmly, I am not a witch. I help the people who trust me. We need money to care for our child's future. I do this for survival, not for just mischief. Su'ud trusted her completely. He knew she was honest and kind. He understood that her work guiding people, helping them with remedies, was necessary for their life. Slowly, Amina became clever in her practice. She opened a small shop. From there, she started to earn a living. She grew herbs, made remedies, and provided guidance to everyone who come to her. People come from far away to consult her. Some ask her to reunite couples who were fighting. Others saw her help before solve financial problems. Those who were sick or helpless found hope in her word. Amina became famous in her village. Even those who did not understand her fully respected her, and she remained humble. Her small shop became a center of healing, guidance, and advice. She always reminded people, I do not practice magic for harm. I only help those who come with faith and trust. Everything is from Allah. And so Amina, once a young woman afraid to her future, became a respected, powerful, wise woman in her village. Saud calmed himself and watched Amina closely. He had learned her nature, how to understand her, how to satisfy her, how to follow her guidance. Amina had studied him carefully too, and knew how to guide him with her words. Whatever she said, Saud accepted. Amina sent Saud such books. He searched for them and finally found them. Saud knew nothing about this mystical art, but Amina convinced him that he could combine knowledge, skill, and money to work effectively. But what Saud did not realize was that Amina, a powerful sorceress, she even worked her magic around him, subtly without his knowledge. Soon, Saud began noticing strange things at his home. A dead bride lying in odd places, spots of blood scattered mysteriously, clumps of hair in strange corners. He asked worried, My love, what's all this? Amina smiled softly. Relax, my dear, it's nothing dangerous. I use these things to attract people who need guidance. You don't need to worry. Most people here are religious, and they respect me. They believe I read the Quran and help with traditional remedies. They don't realize the truth behind it. Amina's home had two rooms for her work. The first room, fragrant and clean, where she welcomed unordinary visitors. Here she gave advice, remedies, prayers. People believed she was a wise and kind woman. The second room, hidden and mysterious, where she handled more dangerous or complicated matters. Here she dealt with those who wanted to influence others, curse or manipulate. Anyone who entered this room felt that they were in the lair of the great sorceress. Amina carefully guarded her talents. She separated couples who were fighting, protected men from harmful curses, managed people who were envious or malicious. Her skills were unmatched. Even the villagers who doubted her power respected her. Amina was clever, wise, and patient. She studied the women who come to her and could read their intentions and gallants. She treated the sincerest and honesty with kindness and guidance and remedies. But those with bad intentions who sought magic from harm were directed to the hidden room. In this secret space, she would perform rituals. She used symbolic objects like berries, herbs, create illusions that felt real but were safe. People left her home believing in her power. Some said she was truly healer, others whispered that she was sorceress, a woman whose ability was beyond comprehension. One day, Amina heard a heavy knock on her door. When she opened, she found a young girl about 20 crying, her eyes full of tears. Please, my mother has passed away. We need you prepare her body for burial. Amina nodded. All right, I will come. Lead me to the home. She prepared herself, gathering her tools and fixing her mind. When she arrived at Maryam's home, the family welcomed her respectfully, aware for her skills. The woman knew Amina as a wise and capable healer. She entered the room where the deceased lay and began her work, preparing the body carefully, respectfully for the funeral. Her presence brought calm to the grieving family. Her experience, her knowledge, and demeanor reassured them that everything would be done properly. Amina's reputation in the village continued to grow. Some people sought her for guidance, others for remedies. Some came for protection, and some came because they feared the unknown. She became a figure of respect, fear, and admiration all at once. Amina carefully observed the many women who had gathered around. She shook her head and whispered herself, "No, this is wrong. This is not for them. I must act carefully, so my work continue properly." The other woman slowly left behind were only the young girl Maryam and her aunt. Amina turned to them, her voice firm. "Why you are still here? Leave now." The two girls were puzzled. They didn't understand why Amina was so strict, so commanding. When a person dies, she explained, it's proper to handle their body carefully. But this close to them, their children, their family, I guard them. I help them even in small ways like preparing water for the dead. But no one should interfere with my work. No one must touch my handle. Maryam and her aunt were confused and scared. Amina's voice grew louder, almost like a command. I will not continue my work if you stay here. Move aside or leave so I can do my task. The girls reluctantly stepped back. They watched as Amina went inside the house to begin her zikr work. Maryam observed carefully. She wondered silently. How does Amina see what to do? How does she know how to wash and prepare the body? Amina moved with precision, opening a hidden room in the house. She approached the body of Mariam's mother, her hands steady, her voice quietly chanting verses. Maryam watched and disbelieved. Amina handled the body gently, but with an otherworld control. Every movement seemed purposeful, every gesture meaningful. Amina began her ritual. She watched the body carefully, covered the head, placed sacred papers and blessing around the body. Marian, her heart pounded. She could not look directly at Amina, but she could sense the strange energy in the room. Her mother's body seems to be surrounded by protective aura. Maryam tried to follow what was happening. She noticed Amina holding a large candle, chanting and moving objects over the body. Maryam felt fear and awe mixed her chest. What is she doing? How can women have just such power? Amina hands moved with precision, but her voice and energy seemed to extend beyond her body. She arranged her scared items, chanting quietly, and suddenly the room seemed hum with unseen energy. Marion's tiny heart raced. Her mind could not understand what was happening and she froze. Then Amina spoke softly but firmly. Do not move, observe and learn. This is how the dead are honored. Everything I do for respect, protection, nothing here is random. Mariam's fear grew as she saw Amina open her mother's mouth and speak words that seemed impossible. Words that made the room feel alive with energy. She could not move, she could not speak. All she could do was watching as Amina completed the ritual with the care, skill, and power beyond ordinary understanding. Finally, Amina finished. She had prepared the body and placed the secret items carefully. Maryam whispered to herself, I have never seen anything like this. How can someone hold so much knowledge and power? Amina looked at Marian and her aunt and said gently, now you understand. Respect and care must guard every action. Fear is nature, but what you saw was not evil, it was protection, blessing, and honor. Mariam nodded silently. Her mind was full of questions, but she also felt deep respect. Realization that Amina was truly extraordinary. After a short while, Mariam aunt left, and Amina emerged from the room, her face calm. The work is done, she said. The body is ready. It can now be taken for the burial. Everything is in order. Some villagers had offered her money for her work, but Amina refused. I do not take payment for preparing the dead, she said firmly. Mariam, overwhelmed by fear and curiosity, ran toward her mother's body. She touched it gently, trying to understand what had happening. The villagers were worried. They whispered to each other. Perhaps the girl could not bear to see her mother's death. The body was carefully moved to other location for burial. Maryam stayed silent, trying to calm herself. She was amazed at what she had just seen. The power and knowledge Amina had displayed, especially when handling her mother's mouth and blessing. Later, Maryam spoke to her aunt and shared everything she had witnessed. She described how Amina had carefully prepared her mother's birth and the strange, powerful things she had done. Marian's father astonished and said, can a man and woman handle the body of the dead this way? Nothing should have been removed for her mouth. What are these things? Mariam said, Father, Amina is not ordinary. She is practitioner for ancient knowledge. What she did was deliberate for protection and blessing. Next morning, her father shared with the village elder. He said he suspected something unusual that Amina had performed mystical acts while preparing. The elders decided to investigate. He spoke to the local imam, explaining the village suspicious. We have never heard of dead body being hidden or prepared in this way. We do not know about her power. The imam agreed to inspect the situation. They conducted an investigation. They interviewed the villagers, many of whom told astonishing stories about Amina's unusual abilities. Eventually, the authorities began involved. They sent the police to inspect Amina's house. The first room appeared normal. It continued Quran is an object used for spiritual guidance. But the second room was darker, frightening, and filled with smoke and unpleasant odor. The police were shocked. They saw walls covered with strange symbols, noticed the name of people, and plans of mystical acts. They found animal remains and books devoted entirely to magical practice. Amina, the ordinary woman in the village, had been living two lives, two faces. The gentle one, respected helper of the community, serving those needs. Other face, a master magic, using her knowledge to manipulate, protect, or curse. The authorities, seeing the evidence, arrested Amina. During questioning, she admitted, I studied magic for 4 years. At first, I only pretended. Later, I became a true practitioner. She confessed that she had hidden a magical object within the bodies she prepared to prevent anyone from discovering her power. Amina crimes using magic to manipulate and harm were grave. She was sentenced to death. In November 2011, Amina was executed, ending the life of the woman who had been respected, feared, laughed and cursed at all once. Maryam and her family, thought shaken by what they had witnessed, were left to process the mystery and the horror of the power Amina had wielded. This was a shocking event that stunned the people of Saudi Arabia. Even though Amina and her husband tried to hide their actions, the story spread and became famous across the country. Some said that after she arrested, she confessed her deeds. Others say that before her arrest, she even tried to defend herself. Friends, this story teaches us many important lessons. Be aware for those who practice magic. Do not let anyone manipulate or harm you through hiding powers. First, seeking solution in the wrong places. True help comes from God, not from tricks or dark arts. Amina had everything, knowledge, skill, a life that could have been good, yet she destroyed herself. She ruined her husband's life, destroyed his business, and caused fear in her village. So whenever God gives you bliss, like wealth, family, or good life, be grateful. Do not let these gifts display away into rain. And with that, friends, our story ends here. Thank you for listening. If you stay with me until the end, may you take the lesson of casual and gratitude to heart. We will continue with more amazing stories next Friday.